This car, you look at it first glance, it looks like there's a lot happening.
Hi, we're here at the Quail, the Motorsports Gathering, and I'm here with Ed Welburn, the former head of global design for General Motors. We were talking about the XJ220 a little bit earlier,
yes.
But what we actually just found out was Ed was talking about what happens when, well, the Aerotech was coming out at the same time as this, right?
Yeah, we were both teams were working in secret, Jaguar and us at GM, developing high-speed cars, low-drag cars. We were developing Aerotech and they the Jaguar, and they appeared around the same time. Somewhat similar. For me, this is like the street version of the Aerotech.
What do you think, though, when another car company puts out a design that is evocative of the one you just did?
Well, it makes you feel like, yeah, you're making some of the right decisions. We're both inspired by some of the same things. They wanted to do a high-speed vehicle, so did we. Low drag was everything, so it had to be a long, sleek body shape without a lot of interruption. I think this car is wonderfully sculpted. It's a beautiful design from end to end.
I mean, you're a big fan of this. What is the one thing you would change on this design?
Well,
right now?
the only thing I would change, I would make the wheels a brighter silver. The gray tone is a beautiful tone, but it makes the wheel look smaller. You know, this car had been criticized quite a bit for being overbodied. It's a big car. Well, I think it's more that the wheels look small than that the body looks big. So if the wheels were a brighter silver, they would look larger and the car would be right on.
I mean, before the era, 17s were pretty big, and now they'd be a very small wheel.
Well, you think about that, you know, it's actually, 17 is rather small compared to what they do today, but I don't think it needs a larger wheel, just the right wheel design or the right finish.
How does color affect the way a car is perceived? Because this is a very nice blue metallic. I mean, if it was a lighter color, would it have the same visceral impact?
I love it in this color. It just shows off all the shape, all the form. You can see, you know, highlights intimate, tiny little things that are happening. You see that because of the dark color. If it were silver, silver would still be very cool. I wouldn't want to see it in white. In white, you would lose all that is magic in this design from end to end.
This is a relatively clean design. I mean, there's not a lot of frippery on it. The venting is actually rather simplistic.
Yeah.
We're going to actually take a brief stroll across the lane here and look at something that has a lot more detail.
The thing that's so fascinating, this car, which is very clean, has a lot going on in detail, the Jaguar. Jaguar has a lot going on in the detail of the surfacing.
Right.
This car, you look at it first glance, it looks like there's a lot happening. And it's all of the bits and pieces out of the basic body shape is quite simple. The body shape is simple, and Pagani, I think, is part of their brand identity, are these details. I mean, you know, like this little leather strap that is wonderful. This little fin, beautifully executed. Same with every detail on the mirror. The sum of it all, for me, is too much. Way, way, way too much. But I love the detailing, and it's just part of this brand's identity.
Is there a point where you have too much carbon fiber?
Well, there are cars here today where the whole body's carbon fiber and they expose it. There's no paint on it at all, just a clear coating over it. And I like it. It depends on how it's used. It really does. There's no set rule for anything. For me, I like clean design with an incredible level of sophisticated surfacing. The Jaguar has every bit of that.
Do you think that some of these design elements could have been integrated better, or maybe left off entirely to leave it a little more simple?
Well, I would have preferred a design that didn't have as many of these elements, but the basic body shape is so simple. I think that is why they add all of these elements to it. It's just, if you took the elements away, then you would need to go back and really work on the surfacing of the body to add subtle things to it that Jaguar has.
So this design feature on the front end,
Yes.
to me, is evocative of a cup holder in a modern SUV. And I'm sure that wasn't what the designers intended, right? But what happens when someone misperceives what the designer's intent was, and something that would have been a very interesting design feature becomes something perhaps less so?
You know, I am more of the Jaguar school than the Pagani school, but there's a customer for this. And you can see plenty of people walking around here today. You look at the way they're dressed.
Right.
They're dressed very much in the same fashion that this car is dressed. The jewelry they're wearing, the hats that they're wearing, the clothes they're
Right.
wearing, and this car would fit in their closet.
It would.
It would, you know, and although I'm not a fan of this, I can see where a lot of people would love it.
Well, let's keep on walking if you don't
Let's
mind.
walk, you know. This is fun, this is good stuff.
All right.